we're here because you brought us here, right? Now I want you to tell me how that's helping us find your daughter. But everything we're doing is to find your daughter. That's the most important thing to know to you right now, right?
Kaylee's been up here. Maybe we can talk to security to see if she's come through the front. I know she's come to the park. She's gone to Disney. She's been at SeaWorld. She's been other places.
Let's go back to we're here.
Backwards way of looking.
And why do you think it's backwards? It's backwards because you haven't been truthful with us.
Texas EquiSearch announcing that it is headed back to Orlando to resume the search for 3-year-old missing Caylee. Here's a shot of her. The tip line, everyone, I want you to be familiar with. We're going to put that up on the screen. Also, there is a website about looking for little Caylee, cfcrimeline.com. There is a $225,000 reward to find little Caylee. To Tim Miller, the head of Texas EquiSearch, where do you intend on searching, Tim?
Well, Nancy, we never really even came close to complete in the areas that we searched before because the conditions, and conditions today are not the same as when Caylee disappeared. You know, they had a tropical storm came in, it dropped a lot of water, and it was my choice to go ahead and suspend the search at that time. And reason being, I truly believe that Caylee is not alive anymore. I don't believe she's far away. And I was not going to take a risk on our four-wheelers and our horses, our ground searchers, walking through water that was a foot or two high and stepping on a possible little skeleton. And we all know that she's extremely decomposed right now and skeletal remains, and pushing it farther down in the mud. So, and then have a chance of never finding her. So I'm flying back to Florida this week. I'm going to look the area over and make that determination.
Are you working with police?
I have talked to John Allen today. I talked to him twice yesterday, and we are certainly working together on this. And we're not going to quit until Caylee's found. And you know what? I held up onto that little glimmer of hope that she was still alive out there. But Nancy, I've lost all that hope. And you know what? We need to find her. And you know, it's never too late. I mean, we did a search on Sunday in Oklahoma on a lady that's missing 5 years, and I personally located her body in 35 minutes. So I'm going to make some decisions out there, and we're going to bring in the best resources again, and the conditions are going to be right.
Tim, who pays your people?
Nobody does, Nancy.
They're all volunteers.
We're all volunteers. I've got $35,000 plus invested in Caylee's search, but what price tag do you put on a missing person?
Everyone, I want to remind you, Tim Miller, not just the head of Texas EquiSearch, but a crime victim. His daughter went missing and was murdered, and he has devoted himself to this calling ever since. To Nikki Pierce with WDBO. Nikki, there are 13 felony charges hanging over Casey Anthony's head, all fraud related. Tell me, in a nutshell, what are the other charges she's facing?
Well, besides the lying to investigators and the other charges that are involving with Caylee, the rest are check fraud charges from stealing from her friend Amy Huzenga. She stole checks when she borrowed Amy's car, and she cashed them all at various places, at Target, Bank of America, and so on, and cleaned out Amy's bank account.
We're taking your calls live out to Stephanie in Washington. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Nancy. My question is when did she start searching for chloroform in her computer? Can they find that date? Because I'm wondering if maybe the chloroform wasn't for her mother.
Interesting. What about it, Mark Williams? Do we know the date of those searches on her computer?
I don't believe that information is yet to be released yet, but the computer did show that she did search for chloroform, but the exact date has not yet been released by authorities.
Well, and I mean, you got to think it through, Mike Brooks. I've actually heard that theory espoused before, that she wanted to somehow injure her mother, but the bottom line is it's Caylee who has gone missing. It's either Caylee's or Casey's hair in the trunk, and the chloroform is in the trunk. So that negates any theory that she was out for her mom.
Right, unless, you know, under some theory that she was storing the chloroform in a trunk, which I find highly improbable. And, you know, investigators are saying it just...
But then how does Caylee fit into the trunk?
Well, because they believe that the hair that was
No. You say she's storing chloroform in the trunk, and then somehow her daughter ends up in the trunk? That doesn't make sense.
No, I'm saying is unless she had it in the trunk and it spilled over, that's the only reason there would be significant traces, as the FBI said, of chloroform in the trunk.
So she means to kill somebody else, and then somehow Kelly goes missing?
Well,
is that, reasonable in your mind?
No, absolutely not, Nancy. And,
Okay, thank you. You just restored my faith in you. Back to the line, Cheryl in Washington. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, Nancy. My question is, has Casey had a psychiatric evaluation?
We do know that she had at least one in order for her to get out of jail and be on house arrest. We don't know the results of that. It has not been published. To Leonard Padilla, bounty hunter, who first put up the bond for Casey Anthony, then came off that bond, bounty hunter out of California. He's joining us tonight from San Antonio. Mr. Padilla, what do you make of Casey Anthony saying she was always been too afraid to go search for her daughter? Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing a stone at anybody's lifestyle. I don't care. All I care about are felonies. But she didn't look too afraid when she was on that stripper pole at Fusion Lounge. She didn't look scared to me.
She has no fear, and the reason she has no fear is because she figures she's in complete control of the whole situation. She right now knows that Tim Miller is within days of finding her daughter Kaylee's remains. She knows that. She can sense it. She can feel it. Tim Miller has access to the same information that law enforcement and my partner Rob have, and that is they know exactly where she was on those days that took place between the 16th and the 30th. And Tim Miller, I'm telling you, he's the best equipped, he's the most knowledgeable, and he will find Kaylee. I guarantee you that.
Very quickly, everyone, we'll be right back, and we are taking your calls live as the search resumes now for little Kelly. To tonight's case alert, the search for a precious 2-year-old girl vanishing northwest Detroit. Tanjina Hussein, reported missing by mom's live-in. They were allegedly at a local gas station. Police say he's flunked a polygraph. The little girl last seen wearing a long-sleeve brown T-shirt, white cargo pants, and gold sandals. Take a look. If you have information, please call Detroit Police 313-596-1240.